Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints, and got a little breaking news to talk about today, and how that move made by this particular team is going to affect the New Orleans Saints, and that's the Atlanta Falcons, the Saints' arch rival in the NFC South, pretty much the NFC, period. Um, Dating back to the '60s, they've added Matthew Judon to their roster. All-pro pass rusher, 32 years old, coming off a season-ending injury. Goes to a team that's going to be, I think, really good. Really good. Makes this move, makes them better. I've been hearing all off-season in Falcons, circles about the defense not being properly addressed during free agency, probably addressed during the NFL draft. Player that did selected in the NFL draft, a pass rusher, he's going to be out for the season. So, adding a guy like Matthew Judon does help, especially in the NFC South, where you don't really have the best, offensive lines in the division, and the Saints. That's just another roadblock, another stumbling block for them to gain ground on the Falcons, who is the projected favorites to win the division after making the move to sign Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins comes in with his reputation of, putting up a lot of big numbers, Pro Bowl quarterback. Falcons already had some pieces of that. They already had pieces they already added through the draft. Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, a couple others out there. You also have a couple former Saints, AJ Klein. I was over there. Well, not AJ Klein. Caden Ellis is over there, linebacker. You got David Onyemata's over there. So, sky's the limit for them. So, with that being said, man, that kind of, make things more interesting for the Saints, in regards to them winning the NFC South. The Falcons did inquire about Justice Simmons, the free agent safety who had a visit with the Saints. He went to go visit the Atlanta Falcons. He left the Falcons without a deal. Does that mean that Simmons can come to the Saints? I don't know. Me personally, with the way things going right now, with the Trevor Penning debacle, with him, not being up to par, not being up to strength, being at full strength to deal with the rigors of the NFL and going into this third season. I think that money should go towards trying to find a new offensive tackle, man. A 1 to 2 year rental while Trevor Penning gets up to speed, man. I'm not this ain't me saying give up on Trevor Penning, but I know it's the preseason that we saw last week, but we saw what we saw. We saw a guy that was constantly getting beat, gave up I believe 3 sacks, called for multiple penalties. That money, man, he may have to go with somebody else, man. Offensive lineman, a right tackle preferably. Instead of going for somebody like a Justin Simmons. Because to me right now, I think your defense is really good. But adding a guy like Simmons, if you look at it now, fast forward to the day after the preseason game against the Cardinals, it's more like a luxury, man. You don't really need him. I don't think you really need him, man. I'm confident with what you have right now. But in the same token, I'm not there. I'm not Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen sees way more than us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he the one that said that he's not ready. He's not, not confident. I don't want to say not confident, but he feels as though one of the safety positions is not locked up. So he felt as though there's a need there. You know what I'm saying? But the way we see it, certainly a lot of us are starting to see it as you need an offensive, you need a right tackle. You know? So there's that. But that money, they need to be smart on how to use that money, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Trevor Penning going up against Donovan, Matthew Judon, Micah Parsons in week 2, Josh Huff, Philadelphia Eagles pass rusher in week 3. Kansas City, they got a few good pass rushers as well. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you face Matthew Judon right after you get done with the Chiefs. So they need to figure that out. Because Atlanta is coming. You know what I'm saying? This division is not gonna be bad forever. Because Tampa Bay, they're not going anywhere. Carolina could, I think, eventually Carolina's going to get better. And I won't be surprised if it happens this year. So you got to step your game up, man, and be wise on how this money is used, man. I believe it's $13 million in cap space. Don't, instead of pursuing Justice Simmons at safety, just roll with what you have right now and go after a right tackle. Because I think this team is going to need it, bro. It's going to need it, man. Allen said he's not really worried about Penning at the moment, but we'll see how that all play out, man. But I won't be surprised if we start seeing some names pop up coming to the Saints facility training camp and possibly be signed soon. There's David Bakhtiari that's out there. There's Donovan Smith, who I think I think is the best right tackle, the best offensive lineman that's available right now. But there's some names out there that the Saints can add, man, to this roster. To help out Trevor Penning right now, because it can only get worse. You know what I'm saying? And preseason is could be a bit tricky, but a lot of bad habits tend to come into the regular season, while some don't. A lot of bad traits, and if your offensive line is bad now, it's gonna be bad during the regular season. If your front four is getting past the offensive line like that, sacking Derek Carr, that's gonna be a recipe for disaster. So Falcons just got a lot better with Matthew Judon in the NFC South. He's 32 years old, but that doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. You still got an all-pro pass rusher, really good player. You feel the need for right now, and a move like that could get you an extra win. More wins on your record. But I still think the NFC South is going to be it won't be bad as it was last year, but it's still going to be a bad division, a weak division. I think the only way a team is going to make the playoffs in the NFC South is through winning the division title. I don't think a wild card is going to be sufficient enough, but we'll see. Having a record sufficient enough for a wild card spot is going to be enough to get you into the big dance. So we'll see how it all play out. All right, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. Falcons just added Matthew Judon, all-pro pass rusher, to their roster. Tell me how you feel about that. Does that make things worse for the Saints? And also check out sportsview360.com/Saints Flags content. More on Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.